press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, welcome back to the video classes. So today the part 13 of organic chemistry, some basic concepts and techniques. So in the previous class we have discussed about the nomenclature of organic compounds, that is naming of organic compounds by two systems. There are two systems of naming the organic compounds. One is common name system or the trivial name system. Second one is IUPAC system. In the previous class we discussed about how to name the organic compounds on the basis of source or the history, that is the common name system or the trivial name system. Today let us move on to the second system of naming the organic compounds, and that is IUPAC system. IUPAC system of naming organic compounds. IUPAC system of naming organic compounds. When this system was introduced, so as the number of carbon atoms are increased, as the number of organic compounds are increased due to the unique property of the carbon, I have given because of the some properties of carbon, the number of organic compounds are far exceed the total number of inorganic compounds. So as the number of organic compounds are increased, so it became difficult to name each and every organic compounds only on the basis of source or only on the basis of history, which means to say there are some compounds, two or more compounds, so those compounds can be obtained from the same source. If it is so, then it is not possible to name such compounds on the basis of source or the history. So therefore, a systematic method of naming the organic compounds, a systematic method of naming the organic compounds was introduced by IUPAC. This systematic naming of organic compound is established by IUPAC in 1958. So this IUPAC system of naming the organic compound is a systematic naming. It is a systematic naming. It is a systematic naming of organic compound. It is a systematic naming of organic compound, and it is established in the year 1958 by IUPAC. What is IUPAC stands for here? So International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Pure and Applied Chemistry. So IUPAC stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. So this IUPAC system was introduced in the year 1958, and it is a systematic naming of organic compounds. As I said, as the number of organic compounds are increased, it became difficult to name the organic compounds only on the basis of source. So for that, I am going to give one example here, hexane. So alkane containing 6 carbon atoms. Now you put Cn, general formula CnH2n plus 2 is the general formula to represent the alkene series. Put N is equal to 6 here, C6, 2, 6 are 12 plus 2, 14. So the formula will be C6H14. So this is nothing but hexane. Now, so let us write the hexane here. N-hexane, as we know that In the previous class we discussed about the three types of alkanes, and common name system of naming the organic compounds, especially the alkanes, uses prefixes like N, iso and neo. In the previous class we discussed what do you mean by N-alkanes and isoalkanes and neo-alkanes. You know what do you mean by N-alkanes? The alkanes which containing a straight chain of carbon atoms, then you can call it as N-alkane. This is the structure of N-hexane. So this is the structural formula that we can write for N-hexane, because the carbon chain is normal and it is a straight chain. Now while writing the isoalkane, so let me write isoalkane like this: CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. Now since the carbon chain is branched, as we know that isoalkanes are nothing but the alkanes which containing at least one tertiary carbon in a branched chain of carbon atoms, No doubt this carbon chain is branched and again it containing one tertiary carbon. So this carbon is tertiary carbon. Now you can name this hexane as isohexane. You can name this hexane as isohexane because the carbon chain is branched and containing at least one tertiary carbon. But we can also write this as CH3, CH2, CH3, CH2, CH3. See here also the carbon chain is branched, correct? And this also containing one tertiary carbon. Then the alkane becomes, it is also a cyclohexane. Means for one name we have two structures here. For one name we have two structures. So this is also isohexane, this is also isohexane. So to use the prefix iso, the conditions are satisfied in both the compound. So for one name we are writing two structural formula here. So because of this reason, it became very difficult to name the compounds only on the basis of source as the number of organic compounds are increased. So, but in case of IUPAC naming of organic compounds, so this naming of organic compounds is a systematic method. It is a systematic method. Why it is a systematic method? Because it is scientifically derived. It is scientifically derived. It is scientifically derived. It is scientifically derived. And the second point is nothing but it is mainly based on structural formula. It is mainly based on the structural formula of the given organic compound. So, IUPAC system of naming the organic compound is a systematic method and it is scientifically derived, and also the naming of the organic compound under this system is mainly based on structural formula. It means to say, according to IUPAC rules of naming the organic compounds, IUPAC naming of organic compound, in the IUPAC naming of organic compound, there is only one name for a given particular organic compound, and also only one structural formula can be written for a given particular name of the organic compound. Means it is a one name, one structural formula system. So I'll repeat. So IUPAC system of naming the organic compound is like, it is only one name can be given to a particular organic compound and only one structural formula can be written for a given particular name of the organic compound. Means if we give one name of the organic compound, means we can write only one structural formula for that compound. So here in common name system we are writing the one name for two structural formula, but here in UPSC system it is a one name, one structural formula system. One name, one structural formula system, and that is the difference between common name system and the trivial name system. It is systematic naming the organic compounds, scientifically derived, mainly based on structural formula, and it is a one name, one structure formula. One name, one structure formula. Therefore, so if you want to give a common names or the trivial names, so we can give the common names or the trivial names for the organic compounds, those organic compounds which containing up to 5 carbon atoms. After 5 carbon atoms, so it is little difficult to give the common name to the given organic compounds. I have given the example here. So therefore, let us move on to a systematic method of naming the organic compounds, and it is nothing but IUPAC system. Okay. Now let us move on to the IUPAC system of naming the organic compounds. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Now, so this IUPAC system, as I said, scientifically derived, and it is mainly based on the structural formula of the given organic compound, and it is one name, one formula system, one structural formula system. Therefore, this IUPAC system of naming the organic compound consisting of the IUPAC name of a given organic compound consisting of 3 parts. So, in one name, IUPAC name of the given organic compound, that IUPAC name itself consisting of 3 parts. What are those? First one is root word. Second one is suffix, and the third one is prefix. So root word, suffix and prefix, and the suffix is further classified into 2 types. One is primary suffix. Second one is secondary suffix. Primary suffix and secondary suffix. So, the IUPAC name of the given organic compound consisting of 3 parts: root word, suffix and prefix. Once you know the IUPAC system of naming the organic compounds, once you know the name of the organic compounds, so this system of naming the organic compounds is very, very important, and it is very basic for your first year and also for your second year PU syllabus, because once you know how to write the name for a given structural formula and how to write the structural formula for a given name, once you know all these, you can easily write the chemical reactions. So therefore, this is very important topic. So naming of the organic compounds is very, very important topic. Just to take down the note and note a points here. Whatever I will give in a class, just to note down the points. So the IUPAC name of a given organic compound consisting of 3 parts: root word, suffix and the prefix. Suffix again classified into 2 types: primary suffix and the secondary suffix. So let me give one by one here. What do you mean by root word? What do you mean by suffix? And what do you mean by prefix? Suffix stands for it comes after. After, if we say, then it is suffix. Prefix, before. Prefix means before. That you have to remember. Now let us move on to the first part of IUPAC name. First part of IUPAC name, that is root word. The first part of the IUPAC name, let us consider the first part of the IUPAC name, that is first one, root word. Okay. What do you mean by root word in a IUPAC name? So in a IUPAC system, root word indicates number of carbon atoms present in. It indicates number of carbon atoms present in a selected parent carbon chain. So what the root word indicates? Number of carbon atoms present in a selected parent carbon chain. So this is the basic unit of IUPAC name. Basic unit. So we have to start the IUPAC name with root word. Therefore it is a basic unit in IUPAC system of naming the organic compounds. So the root word is must to give IUPAC name. Okay. So what it indicates? It indicates the number of carbon atoms present in a selected parent carbon chain. Let us consider what do you mean by selected parent carbon chain. So for example, when an organic compound is given to name under this IUPAC system, the first step is you have to select a longest continuous carbon chain. In a given organic compound, you have to select longest continuous carbon chain. Longest continuous carbon chain which containing possible maximum number of functional groups and possible maximum number of multiple bonds and maximum possible number of carbon atoms. So when an organic compound is given for naming under IUPAC system, the first step is you have to select a carbon chain in such a way that carbon chain is a longest continuous carbon chain. You have to select the longest continuous carbon chain, and that carbon chain containing the possible maximum number of functional groups, multiple bonds and also carbon atoms. So including these, you have to select one particular carbon chain, and that chain is called selected parent carbon chain. So in a selected carbon chain, how many carbon atoms are present? That gives the root word, and that root word is the basic unit in IUPAC name. So that is the basic unit in IUPAC name. For example, in a given organic compound, if we have the selected parent carbon chain, if it contains 3 carbon atoms, so this is the selected parent carbon chain. If it contains 3 carbon atoms, then the root word used here is prop. Root word used here is prop. Prop is the root word. Why prop is the root word? Because the selected parent carbon chain which is continuous and having possible maximum number of functional groups, multiple bonds and the carbon atoms that containing 3 carbon atoms, and hence the root word will be prop. Okay. Now, if it containing 6 carbon atoms, if a selected parent carbon chain containing 6 carbon atoms, then what will be the root word? The root word will be hex. Root word will be hex. Hex is the root word. So that because it indicates the 6 carbon atoms. Similarly, if 10 carbon atoms are present in a given selected parent carbon chain, then the root word will be dec, and if there are 12 carbon atoms are present, then dodec, then 13 carbon atoms, tridec, tetradec, pentadec, like that. If 20 carbon atoms are present, then icosa. Icosa is the root word for a longest parent carbon chain which containing 20 carbon atoms, 30 carbon atoms, triacont, 40 carbon atoms, tetracont, like that. you can give the root word for the carbon chain, selected carbon chain which containing the carbon atom from 1 to 100, 1 to 100. So, this is about the first unit in the IUPAC, naming of organic compounds, and that is nothing but root word. So, let us consider root word for different number of carbon atoms in a selected parent carbon chain. So, did you get what do you mean by parent carbon chain? It is a selected longest continuous carbon chain in a given organic compound containing possible maximum number of functional groups, multiple bonds and the carbon atoms. Okay. Now, let us move on to the root words for number of carbon atoms present in the given parent chain. Write on this table. So, in a first column you write number of carbon atoms, number of carbon atoms, and in a second column you write root word, root word. Okay, again continue here, number of carbon atoms, and again root word. So, number of carbon atoms and the respective root word. So, if a given selected parent carbon chain containing one carbon, then the root word will be meth. Up to 10 carbon atoms that you studied in your 10th standard. So, if the number of carbon atoms, if it is 2, eth, and 3, prop, and 4, but. And remember, in IUPAC system, you have to use the small letters here, not the capital letters. Meth, eth, prop, and but for 4. For 5 carbon atoms, it is pent. 6 carbon atoms, hex, 7 carbon atom, hept, 8 carbon atoms, oct, 8 carbon atoms, oct, and 9 carbon atoms, non, and 10 carbon atoms, dec, 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 and 11 carbon atoms, undec, 12 carbon atoms, dodec, 13 carbon atoms, tridec. Similarly, you can move on to 14, 15, 16, tetradec, pentadec, hexadec, heptadec, octadec. So, non-dec, and next for 20 carbon atoms, if 20 carbon atoms are there, then it is icosa. What is this called? Icosa. So, actual word here is this, icosa. Actual word here is icosa, but we cannot place two ovals together in a IUPAC system. There is one more condition. In IUPAC system, we cannot place two ovals together. Therefore, you can write it as icosa. Okay, and this is the root word when it containing 20 carbon atoms. So, if it is 21, unicosa. Okay, then 22, doicosa. So, if you write doicosa here, so O and I, the two ovals it will come together, therefore doicosa. So this can be written as docosa. So what is the actual root word? Docosa. It is not dosa, it is docosa. Docosa, doicosa can be written as docosa because we cannot place two vowels together in the IUPAC system of naming the organic compounds. Therefore, docosa is the root word for carbon chain containing 22 carbon atoms. Then 23 carbon atom if it is there, then triicosa. So 23 carbon atom if it is there, then triicosa. For number of carbon atoms is 23, triicosa. You can write it as tricosa. Then 24, tetraicosa. So like that, tetracosa. So like that you have to drop the first letter of icosa while adding the prefix which containing one more vowel. So this is about up to 20 carbon atoms, 21 it is unicosa, 22 it is doicosa. Let us move on to, so similarly you can write the root word for the remaining 23, 24, 25 like that. So now let us move on to, if 30 carbon atoms are there, then you have to use triaccount. What is the root word for 30 carbon atoms? Triaccount. So 31 untriaccount. Okay. Then if it is 32, bitriaccount. See here, when the carbon atom here is 12, we use a prefix do here, and for 22 also we use it do for 2, but in 32 we are using bi. Now onwards we have to use bi, means for 42, 52, 62 we have to use bi as a prefix to represent 2. So bitriaccount, okay, bitriaccount, triaccount, tetratriaccount, like this for 33 carbon atoms, 34, 35, 36 like that. Now after that we will get 40 carbon atoms, tetracount, okay. For 50 carbon, pentacount, 60 hexacount, 70 heptacount, 80 octacount for 80 carbon atoms, and then for 90 carbon atoms, nonacount, and for 100 decount. And for 100 carbon atoms, you can write the root word as decount. So this is about the root word for the number of carbon atoms present in a selected parent carbon chain. So you will get organic compounds containing maximum number of 18 to 20 carbon atoms. In your second year syllabus, in one example you come with the total number of carbon atoms in a given example, that will be 19 carbon atoms. If it is 19, what is the root word that we can use there? So what is the root word that you can use if there is a 19 carbon atoms? So dec is the 10 carbon atoms, non-dec is the 19. So 19 carbon atoms, for 19 carbon atoms you can use non-dec. So here the number of carbon atoms, depending on the number of carbon atoms, so you have to give the root word here. So 20 icosa, 21 unicosa, 22 doicosa, or docosa, 30 triaconch, 31 untriaconch, bitriaconch, tetraconch, pentaconch, hexaconch, heptaconch, octaconch, nonaconch and then deconch. So this is about the root word that can be given for a selected carbon chain, parent carbon chain. Then if a number of carbon atom, if it is 14, what is the root word? That is pentdec. Pentdec is the root word for the carbon number of carbon atoms which containing 15 carbon atoms. If it is 14 carbon atoms, tetradec. Tetradec you can use, tetra stands for 4, dec stands for 10, total number of carbon atoms will be 14. So tetradec is the root word for the organic compound which containing 14 carbon atoms in a selected parent carbon chain. So this is about the root word. So let us move on to the second part of the IUPAC name of organic compound. Second part. So second part of IUPAC name is nothing but suffix. So the suffix indicates nature of the carbon chain, nature of the carbon chain and also nature of the carbon chain, and also it indicates the nature of functional group, nature of functional groups. So suffix indicates the nature of the carbon chain and also nature of the functional group. If a suffix indicates the nature of the carbon chain, then it is primary suffix, okay. If it indicates the nature of the functional group, then it is secondary suffix, So as I said, primary suffix is classified into two types, primary suffix and the secondary suffix. What is a primary suffix indicates? It indicates the nature of the carbon chain. So let us move on to in this primary suffix. Primary suffix. What is this primary suffix indicates? It indicates the nature of carbon chain. It indicates the nature of carbon chain. What do you mean by nature of carbon chain? Whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. Just by looking at the primary suffix, you can say whether the chain is saturated or unsaturated, which means to say if a carbon chain containing only single bond between the carbon atoms, then the carbon chain is saturated. If a selected chain, if it containing one or more double or a triple bonds, then the carbon chain is unsaturated. So just by looking at the primary suffix only, you can say whether it is saturated or unsaturated. So the nature of the carbon chain, whether it is saturated or unsaturated, is indicated by primary suffix. Remember, this primary suffix is always added after the root word. So first we have to write the root word here, and into which we have to add primary suffix. We have to add primary suffix. So primary suffix is added after the root word. Now let us consider what are the primary suffixes that we can use to indicate the nature of the carbon chain. So, how we can indicate the nature of the carbon chain? On the basis of primary suffix. So, for that, let me take the table here. So, nature of carbon chain, and here it is primary suffix. So, depending on the nature of the carbon chain, how we can give the primary suffix and on the basis of nature of the carbon chain. So, take down this table. So, if the carbon chain is like this, means it containing only single bond between the carbon atoms, then what is the primary suffix that we have to use? Ane. Ane is the primary suffix, and I will put the hyphen here. Before writing the primary suffix, we need to put hyphen because this primary suffix is added after root word. We have to add the primary suffix to the root word, therefore hyphen should be written before writing the primary suffix. And if the carbon chain is like this, one is a pi bond, another one is a sigma bond, that is double bond if it is there, then which primary suffix we have to use? Ene. Then if triple bond is present between the carbon atoms, then we have to use ine as a primary suffix. So, ane, ine. If primary suffix is ane, then you can say the nature of the carbon chain is saturated. If ene or the ine is there, then you can say the selected parent carbon chain is unsaturated one. If ene is there, unsaturation is due to double bond. If ine is there, unsaturation is due to triple bond. So, on the basis of primary suffix, you can easily indicate whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. So, let me give one example here. So, let me take the organic compound. Just if an organic compound is given and that organic compound containing 6 carbon atoms and all the 6 carbon atoms are joined by a single sigma bond, then what is the root word for the selected carbon chain containing 6 carbon atoms? So, in a selected carbon chain of the given organic compound, there are 6 carbon atoms are there, and hence the root word is hex. And all the carbon atoms are joined by a single sigma bond, then what will be the primary suffix? Ane. So, you have to add ane to the hex. Hex is the root word and the name will be hexane. So, you can give root word plus primary suffix as hexane. So, root word plus primary suffix here as ane in a given selected carbon chain. Hexane is the root word plus primary suffix for a given selected carbon chain in a organic compound. Now, if a given compound containing, so 12 carbon atoms in a selected parent carbon chain, 12 carbon atoms in a selected carbon chain and containing one double bond is a nothing but multiple bond, double bond if it is there, then the primary suffix will be in 12 carbon atoms. What is the root word? Dodec. Dodec is the root word into which we have to add ene. Why we have to add ene? As I said, the selected parent chain containing 12 carbon atoms having one double bond between the carbon atoms. Therefore, what is the name? Dodecene. Dodecene. So, dodecene is the root word and the primary suffix for a selected parent carbon chain. So, by knowing the secondary suffix, you can say hexane. In hexane, this chain is saturated because all the carbon atoms are joined by a single sigma bond. Whereas in this case, what happens? The dodecene. So dodecene, in this case, the carbon chain is unsaturated. Now, in a selected parent carbon chain of a given organic compound, if there are 4 carbon atoms are present and there is one triple bond between the 2 carbon atoms, then 4 carbon atoms, tetra is the root word for, but is the root word for 4 carbon atoms. For 14 it is tetradic. So I said only 4 carbon atoms are present, then the root word will be but and containing one triple bond, then the root word and the primary suffix will be butane. So by knowing the second primary suffix, you can say the carbon chain is unsaturated. Carbon chain is unsaturated. So primary suffix indicates the nature of the carbon chain, whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated depending on the nature of the bond between the carbon atoms, whether it is single bond or a double bond or a triple bond. So this primary suffix is always added after the root word. Therefore it is called suffix after the root word. Therefore it is called primary suffix. Now let us move on to the next part here. It is nothing but secondary suffix. Secondary suffix. So what the secondary suffix indicates in the IUPAC name? As I said, the secondary suffix in the IUPAC name indicates the which functional group is present in a given organic compound. It tells about the nature of the functional group present in a organic compound. As we note that once we know the nature of the functional group present in an organic compound, we can determine the complete properties of that particular organic compound, because functional groups indicates the properties of the given organic compound. So let us move on to the second part of a suffix called secondary suffix. So how to give the secondary suffix depending on the nature of the functional group. So let me give the secondary suffix in the next class. Thank you.